Hello and welcome to today's Bitrix24 webinar, Sell More with Sites. Thank you for joining today. So before we go through the webinar today, we'll just introduce ourselves. So we are Bitrix24 Gold Partners Interface. My name is Sam Connor, a sales engineer here at Interface, and we are located in the UK, in the US and in Hong Kong. And what we do is we offer a full range of services for Bitrix24, starting off with pre-sale support. So what we can do is discuss your requirements in detail and see if Bitrix24 could be a good fit and solution for your business. What we can then do is we can implement the software for you, so we can set up the Bitrix24 system to meet your specific requirements. For the self-hosted edition, we offer our own hosting services, and we can then, once the system is set up and completed, we'll provide training and ongoing dedicated support to help you get the most out of Bitrix24. Okay, so if you're new to Bitrix24, you've joined the webinar today, maybe to get some more understanding about the features of Bitrix24. It is a collaboration suite of in excess of 35 tools now to help you with managing your business. And specifically today, what we're going to focus on is how we can create our own sites and landing pages using the tools available in Bitrix24. There are over 9 million customers now that use Bitrix24 to help manage their business, and the system is available in two different editions. So we have the cloud edition and the self-hosted edition. Prices start from $19 per month for a cloud system and $1,490 for a self-hosted lifetime license, and that starting license there is a 12-user edition. Okay, so today's webinar is Sell More with Sites. So we're going to look at how we can create our own sites and landing pages using the Bitrix24 Sites module. First of all, though, what we really need to understand is why you should use Bitrix24 to build your sites. So first of all, you can use your own domain. So once you have built a site, you can actually apply your domain to that site. You don't have to use the Bitrix24 domain on there. You also, hopefully you'll realize in the webinar today that it is a very simple process to create your own site. So you don't need any design or coding skills to be able to build those sites using the Bitrix Sites module. It also integrates your Bitrix24 tools very seamlessly into the sites you build. So for example, it could be you build a CRM form, maybe have a live chat widget as well. Those will easily integrate with any site that you build in the sites module. We also have responsive and mobile friendly testing, so we can see what our site will display and look like on different types of devices before we launch it. And we can also integrate for SEO and traffic analytics. So we'll see how we can integrate our Google Analytics links into our sites. Okay, so first of all, today we're going to look at how we can set up our very own site using the Sites module in Bitrix. So we need to first of all look at the different designs that we have available to select from when we want to build our site. So first of all, we want to choose our design. So Bitrix offers a wide range of pre-configured designs that you can choose from when you want to build your sites. So the first place you want to go to is the Sites module and create a new template. And this then opens up the template page, and it will show you all of the different templates that you can select from as a base for your site design. And there's lots of different industries that you can choose from, ranging from, for example, web design through to real estate. And what we can then do is also select maybe some seasonal templates as well. So for example, down here we had some old Halloween templates. We've got Black Friday templates up here. So the closer it gets to certain holidays, you'll see new templates being added into the system. So let's select accountancy as our template. So once you've selected a template, you first of all need to select a default color so we can see what the live chat color and the different pixels will display like. So let's select our color. And then I'm going to create the site. Okay, so in theory, there is a new site that has been pre-built for us using the templates in Bitrix24. Now, obviously, we need to go through and customize this with our own specific requirements for the site and add our information onto here. But that's how quick it can be to actually create a site using the site templates. But now we do want to configure this site. So first of all, what we should do is configure the essential settings of your website. So in the top menu, you first of all want to go into the settings area here, and we go into the site settings. Okay, so this opens up the settings for the site, and you can see here at the top, we can add our own domain. So as we've mentioned now at the start, you can add your own domain when you have created your site. So this is where we can add that domain. What we really would recommend though is while you're building out your site and you're adding all of the features, we would recommend keeping the Bitrix24 domain. Once you're happy and you're ready to publish, at that time you can then add your domain onto your site. Okay, we can also add website widgets. So we're going to look later on at how we can build our very own widgets. And those widgets can then automatically be added into your site. So you simply select those widgets from the menu here to add them into your sites. We can also select the style of font across the site. And further down here, there are some additional features. So for example, we can integrate Google Analytics onto our site. So this then allows us to simply add and apply our UA code, and we can then start tracking the users who are on our site. Okay, so that's first of all where we should go and configure our site settings. And then once you've done your site settings, we should go into the page settings. Okay, so we've gone into the page settings, and really what this page is for, this is where we can optimize our site. So because you can build multi-page websites, you can apply different settings to each individual page. And this is essential really for your website search engine optimization configuration. So when Google is looking, we want to make this as clear for every single page that we are creating. So we can go into the settings for the page, and we can go through here and add all of the information associated to this specific page. We can add the meta tags, for example. So that really is what we need to do to improve our SEO for every single page that we are using. Okay, so we've got the site settings. We've also got the individual page settings. And then once that's been done, this is then obviously with the page settings, we've been able to create a good meta tag description. So this is what the search engine will pull up. And then we can actually start configuring the design. So we've seen here the template that Bitrix24 has provided. What we can then do is we can start to customize this. So as you can see here, if you have chosen a pre-configured design, then you will already see a range of blocks. So this is how the sites module is developed. It's done using a block feature here. So if I wanted to add a new element onto this site, I could click add block. And then in there, I could select what type of block I want to add. So it could be, for example, an About Us page. So I can go into here and select the template that I want to add into that block. Or maybe I want to add a form into this block. So you can select from your columns here which type of block you would like to add into your site. Okay, so there's a large range of blocks. Let's add an images block. Okay, and then you can see that's now been added into the site. And what you may want to do is you might want to configure actually what this looks like. So what we can do is if we just go back into our block here, what you can do is you can customize every block you add into the system. So if I wanted to actually remove or add a block, I can delete, I can move the blocks up and down, so I can completely customize the display of our blocks. And then with each block, you're able to go into the editing mode here, and we can customize the information. So you can see there's templates of text in here. We can add and remove that text, so we can add our information. We can also customize the images that are actually on this block. So I can upload my own images, or you're also able to use the Unsplash feature, which is a document library, image library. So I can then select the images that I would want to add. So I'm going to select a finance image because we're going to use this page as a finance page. So I'm then going to add a new image onto here. And I'm going to save that. And it's now added that image into that block. So that's really how easy it is to customize and add your own blocks into the system. Okay, so if you have any questions as we're going through this, please do add them into the chat box and we can go through those before the end of the webinar today. Okay, so we've added some content into this landing page. What you can also do is you can create multi-page sites. You can also create, rather than just having landing pages, you can create your very own functional websites. So I just want to show you what this can look like, for example. So here is a site we've created earlier. So we have a cake site, and we can see here the different blocks we've added. We've got some images on this particular site. And we've also integrated some of those widgets that we were discussing. We said how seamlessly you can integrate different widgets from your Bitrix system onto any site you create. And if we go into the right-hand corner here, you can see we've embedded a live chat system. So I can then add a message into the chat. And if we just go back into our Bitrix system, we can see that message has now come through into Bitrix. So your team are then able to respond to those messages from the site directly in your Bitrix system. So it fully integrates your sites with your customers on the Bitrix platform. Okay, and we've also at the bottom here, we've also got a web form embedded. So what we could also do is we might submit our details and information, and then that will automatically sync into the CRM system. So again, that's another way of automating with the Bitrix24 platform. So it's really a seamless integration. We can create our sites on Bitrix. We can then integrate different features such as web forms and live chats, and it allows us to then communicate directly with the contacts who are on our sites. And if we just go back to the top, we mentioned how you can have landing pages and how you can also have multi-page sites. If it's a multi-page site, if I just go into the inquiry section, we have additional pages. So it can really be a fully built website from your Bitrix24 sites module. So we've gone into the inquiry page and we've got a brand new page with some details about how customers can get in contact with us. Okay, and just to mention there again, we've got some forms. The widgets are heavily integrated, as we've mentioned. So what you can add is a CRM form. You can add a live chat widget, like you can see here. You can also add a call request button. So if you wanted the user to add their details so they get a callback. You can also add that widget onto the system as well. Okay, so that's a look at a web page that's already been built using the Sites module. So once you've built out your site, we've customized and edited all of our blocks, and we've maybe deleted things we don't need, you can then actually do some responsive testing to see what this looks like on your websites live. So if this had been published already. So what we can do is we can see what this looks like on different devices. So first of all, we can see what this looks like on a desktop display. But we could also see what this looks like on a tablet. So I can go through here and make sure this looks correct on a tablet display. And I can also even make this turn into a mobile display. So I can see here what I would want to change this image, and I would maybe want to edit the amount of text that's in some of these articles. So it allows you to really simply view what the page will look like on different displays. You don't need to know any code or testing to be able to do this. And really what this allows you to do is it makes sure that once you've launched your sites, it is made responsive for all of these different types of devices your potential customers could be using to access your site. And once you've done this, what we can then do is we can go through and publish the site. So we would just click on publish, and that can then launch our site. But what we would mention, we would first of all go back into the site settings, and we would change that domain. So this is now when we would add our own domain onto that site, and we would then publish. Okay, so that's really how easy it is to build your site using the Sites module in Bitrix24. Let's just see if we do have any questions about the module today. Okay, please add any questions into the chat box and we can run through those throughout the webinar today. Okay, the question here, is there a limit to the number of pages that I can create? So as long as you've got a commercial cloud license, then there is no limit to the number of pages that you can create using the Sites module. Okay, one more question that's come through is, can I keep my site hidden until it's ready to go live? Well, you can publish when you're ready to go live, but what we would just recommend is you don't point the DNS record until you are happy and you want that site to be viewable over the internet. Okay, please do add any of the questions into the chat box on the GoToWebinar and we'll run through those in the next interval. So we've had a look there at how we can build our own sites on Bitrix24. What we can also do is we can build our own online store using very similar functionality. So it could be you're a new startup and you need to create your own site to be able to sell your products to customers. Bitrix24 has the features that enables you to manage that using the online store module. So what this will allow you to do is it will allow you to create your very own e-commerce store on the Bitrix24 system. So first of all, what you would want to do is go into the Create an Online Store feature. And what we can then do is we can select a template. So this is very similar to the Sites module. It's the same methodology. So you can go into here and select the type of store you would want to use as a template. Okay, so I can select that. I can select my theme. And then I simply have to create. Okay, so we've selected an Instagram store, so we need to connect to our Instagram page on there. Let's just show you a store that's already been made. So let's have a look at this particular store. Okay, so this is one of our handmade shops. So here we can see on this particular page, it's using the same functionality. We've got the block feature. But what you can see here are all of the different products that we have added into the store. And when you add products, you can add different types of attributes. So for example, on this particular beach shoe product, we've got different sizes. It could be you've got different colors of a product, and we can then add a price and a quantity so we can see that totaling up in the system. So this is really important that you manage your products correctly with the online store. So what we can do to manage all of our products is if we go back into the sites module, we can see how we can manage all of our products. So back in the online store, we have a product catalog. So this is where you can store all of the different products that are going to be associated with your online store. So it's really simple to add your own products into here. And if we just go into a product, we can then add all of the different information about the product into here. So we can add images, all of the details, we can add meta tags and descriptions for every single product. And we can then also add the price and the quantity that's available for that particular product. So once you've added products, you also need to add your different payment providing options. So how your customers are able to pay for those products through the online store. So we can go into our settings and the payment systems, and then I can select new payment system, and I can then integrate the payment system that I would like to use. Bitrix24 has integrations with PayPal and Stripe, and there are new integrations coming on very often right now with new updates that Bitrix24 release. Okay, what you could also do inside here if you wanted to add some rules, for example, you could add maybe some discounts or coupons that customers could use through buying certain products. So that's another feature that you would be able to enable through the online store. So once you've added products and you've added your payment providers so your customers can pay for the products, you can then start receiving those orders. So once the customer has paid for an order, the order will come through into your ordering section. And what we have here are different stages that an order will go through. And for those people who are familiar with Bitrix24 and specifically the CRM system, you'll see how the stages here are very similar to the stages you can have in leads and deals. So what you're able to do is you can customize the ordering process in your online store. So here we can see the different stages we have. So order accepted, waiting for payment, paid, preparing for shipment, and then we have fulfilled. But you could add as many stages into here as you require. So it's fully customizable to be almost very specific for your online ordering process. Okay, so we've got stages that we can progress the order through, and we've also got automation, and this is really powerful for e-commerce sites. So what we can do at every step of that ordering process is we can add different types of automations, and this can be from client communications. So for example, we may send out emails at specific steps of the process. It could be maybe activity for the employee. But there's lots of different types of automations you can run in here. So for example, as soon as the customer places the order, that will come through into the order has been accepted stage. We're going to automatically send out a thank you email and the details about their order directly on the system. And then once payment has been made, we're using a trigger here. So a trigger will automatically update the stage of that order. So it will go from order accepted to paid automatically once that payment has been made. And then at the payment stage, again, we're going to send out certain email communications, and also we're going to add another automation into here as well. So this shows how you can use a mixture of triggers and automations to streamline your online ordering process. And this is really useful because it allows you to really tailor your process. With all the customization you can do in stages and through automations, it's really bespoke to your process. Now, if you really wanted to, it could be possible using webhooks or the API. We could maybe even send this order information to a shipping provider, so that could then print out shipping labels, for example. So there's a lot of features that are utilized in the online store that you could benefit from if you did want to set up your own e-commerce platform. And one thing to mention on the online store sites and also the landing pages that we were creating earlier on, every single site you create has an SSL certificate, and that is applied automatically. So that's really good for optimization, and that's included with all the sites modules that you use in Bitrix24. Okay, so that's a quick look there at the online store and looking at the automations. Let's just see if we have any other questions to go through. Okay, so if we have an existing site or domain, can it be migrated into Bitrix24 sites? So what we'd have to do is have a look at that existing site. So if you can send an email to sales@interface.com, we'll have a look to see if that can be pulled into the site. What we would definitely be able to do is integrate the website forms and live chat widgets. So those widgets that we've been looking at, those could be added directly onto your existing site, even if it's not been created on the Bitrix24 sites menu. Okay. Okay, so now we'll have a look in some more detail at the CRM integration area. So we've also had a quick look at that already, how we had a live chat on a site and that fed into Bitrix24. But the integration is really crucial. So it could be you create a landing page as a marketing suite. And what you're then able to do is you could have that come directly through into your Bitrix24 system. So if we just go back into our Bitrix24 platform, we're going to go into the CRM. And what we want to go to is just go into the extra features. And what I can then do is I can go into the website widget feature. Okay, and this is where we can start creating our very own widgets that we can then apply onto all of the sites and online stores that we create in Bitrix24. So let's go into here, let's have a look at a selection of the widgets that are available. Okay, so we've just gone into our widget area. The first type of widget you can create is a live chat widget. So this can be embedded onto your sites. Just to be clear, it doesn't just have to be on a site you create in Bitrix. These widgets that we are looking at here, these can be added and embedded onto any website, no matter even if it was not created on Bitrix24. You get an embedding code for every single widget, which you can then apply to the system. Okay, so first of all, with a live chat, we can choose the position on the website. So I can select where that should be displayed. Very commonly, it's going to be in the bottom right-hand corner. I can also choose the icon and the color that we want for that particular widget. And there are some additional settings here, so how quickly that widget displays on the website. Is it supposed to be available on mobile? And select the language as well. And we can also configure who's actually able to accept those live chat requests. So you may have certain people who are responsible for dealing with those requests. Those are then added into the queue group here. So we can see Max, Mo, John, and John. Those are the 4 individuals who are going to have live chat messages routed to their Bitrix24 system. We can then also create website forms. Okay, so we're going to the form designer section. Just to mention, this is the old form designer view. There is a brand new designer form view as well, so you can select what way you want to view the forms that you are creating in Bitrix. But with these forms, what we can do is we can simply select every field that we want to send information to in the CRM system. So you simply select those fields. So I might want to add date of birth, for example, and I can then add that field into the form. And what happens is once this form has been created, and we may embed this onto our website, for example, we can then automatically capture information and details of our customers on a form. So it will automatically feed into the CRM system. And you can select where in the CRM that information will go to. So very commonly it would create a brand new lead in the system, but it could be you want to add it into a specific deal pipeline, for example. You can customize exactly where that information will go to. Okay, and once we've created the form, if we're using a site that's been made on Bitrix24, you can simply select the form and it will be embedded onto your website. Or if it's a site that's not been built on Bitrix, we can use the form embedding page here. So we can take the code and then embed that form onto your website. Okay, so that's a look at some of the different features that we can use on Bitrix24 in terms of those forms. So it's really useful to be able to capture this information directly from your pages. So if we just go on to see you can create as many forms in here as you like. There is no limit to the number of forms that you create. And that information can then automatically sync into Bitrix24. So we can go into here and it will show all of the forms. So for example, here we have an inquiry form that has been submitted, and it will capture all of the information about that particular form. So it's brought through all of the details that have been submitted on that form. And you can see now as well, we've automatically sent out an email to this particular email address. So we can use automation to actually streamline your sales process when information is added from those widgets. So for example, if a web form was submitted, their details have been added now into this lead, we then can use lead automation to communicate with that customer. So for example, this could come in as a new lead in the system. And at that new lead stage, we're then going to automatically send out a thank you email to them, thanking them for their inquiry. So the integration with the site, it allows you to add those widgets. Through those widgets, you can then get that data and information synced into the CRM. And then we can use automation rules that are put in place to automatically respond to those customers. So it's all seamlessly integrated together. Now, we won't go into too much detail about the different aspects of the CRM. We're going to cover that next week in the CRM webinar. But what you can do in the lead and deal section is you can automatically change the different stages that you progress a lead through. So you could have as many or as few stages as you like on your lead system. You can change the name and the colors and all of the automations that are managed through that lead. So if I move this to the first call stage, we've automatically scheduled an outbound call, and we could also, for example, send an SMS directly through that system. Okay, so just had another question come through. Are sites available to all levels of service? I believe you do need to have a commercial Bitrix24 system to be able to generate multiple landing pages. So you will just need to check if you're on a free cloud edition, there may be limitations to what's accessible on the sites module. Okay, another question, can I create different live chat widgets for each site that I create? Yes, absolutely. So you can create different widgets for the different landing pages. So you may have a certain web form that is for a certain landing page. So you can customize every single widget that goes onto every single web page that you create. Okay, so moving on to just have a quick look at the reporting features. So first of all, we can integrate Google Analytics. So each site you set up, in your site configuration settings, it allows you to create and analyze all of the data through your Google Analytics account. If we go into the contact center, if you've integrated some of those live chat widgets, we also have open channel statistics. So you might want to look at all of the statistics on the live chats that have been going through your different sites. So there's lots of different dashboards of reports that you can use, and you can configure these reports to your specific requirements using the open channel statistics section. So this allows you to see, say, the response times on live chats, how many inquiries. We can maybe get a satisfaction score from the customer after the live chat has been completed. So there's lots of different reports that you can build in the conversation statistics area. Okay, so in summary today, through the Sell More with Sites webinar, we've looked at how simple it is to create your own sites using the Bitrix24 Sites module. It's very simple to build very great looking designs, and you're able to customize those designs very easily, either with your own information and images or using some of the Unsplash designs on the Sites module. It's fully integratable with the CRM system in Bitrix24. Using the website forms, the live chat widgets, we can seamlessly integrate with the CRM, and that's always going to help you improve your conversion rates and improve your customer loyalty as you're managing all of those interactions. Okay, so another question come through, if time permits, can you explain how to manage company dates, like parent company, child company, HQ address, and branches? So I think for that one, we'll just need some more context as to exactly what you're trying to achieve. So please can you email sales@interface.com. We'll set up a meeting with you to discuss that specific question, and we'll see how we can help you, okay? Okay, so here are a selection of the up-and-coming webinars that we have. Next week, we have the Next Level CRM webinar, where we'll go into a lot more detail on the CRM module. Okay, so that's the end of the Sell More with Sites webinar today. Thank you for your time, and I hope you found this useful. If you do have any questions before next week's webinar, please do email sales@interface.com, and we'll be happy to help you. Bye for now.